Today we're going to look at run-on sentences. Run-on sentences are sentences that literally do this. They run on. They just keep going and going and going, and they don't end with a period where they should. They are two or more complete sentences put together, and they just keep going. So a sentence like, I use the one, they don't have one right here. I use this one. I like blueberries. I don't like bananas. They just keep going. It might say, I went to the park, I saw my friend, I went on the slide, and then my dad came to pick me up. All together put into one sentence with one period. But there's 4 sentences there. One of the things that we can do when we have a run-on sentence is just make 2 complete sentences. So I went to the park, period. I saw my friends, period. We can do that, but if we make all these short little sentences, then we kind of have this baby writing, is what I call it. It's kind of what you did when you were maybe in 1st or 2nd grade, where everything, you told lots of details, but everything was short sentences. I went to the park. I saw my friend. I saw a dog. The dog barked. I pet the dog. I ran with the dog. I went down the slide. My dad picked me up. All these short little sentences. When we get to 4th grade, we need to make sentences that tell you more detail. They use a few more words, they give more descriptions. So instead of having these little tiny sentences, we can join them together. And what we use is something called a fanboys. We use one of these words here and we connect the 2 sentences. Okay, so we would take something like, I went to the park, I saw my friends. I'll write it down for you. I went to the park, that's one complete sentence. I is the subject, went to the park is the predicate, tells you who did what. I saw my friends. It ends with a period there, so I know the sentence is over, but I saw my friends. I is the subject, saw my friends is the predicate. And when we have both of those together, we have to have something in the middle. So I either have to put a period here and have 2 separate sentences, or I can put a comma there and use one of the fanboys. Okay, so if I did both things, then I'm going to use the word and. I went to the park and I saw my friends. It's 2 complete sentences joined with the comma and a fanboy. It's like the glue that keeps them together. I can't just put 2 things together and expect them to stay there. So, like these 2 water bottles, I can't just put them together and leave them be. They're gonna fall. They're gonna fall apart. I have to have some type of glue for them. So in our sentences, the comma and the fanboys is the glue. Okay, so we're gonna look at the different ones you can use. We can use the word for, and we don't really use this one a lot. You probably use the word because. And this is tricky. This is just how the English language works. If you use because, you don't use the comma. We'll talk about that at a later time. But the word for is kind of like that. I went to the store for I was out of milk. Let me see if I can think of a better one for you. I really don't use this one. The only time I use it is on those boring worksheets when they put them together, and I would say because, and then I use for. The ones that you'll use more are and. It means you're doing 2 things. I went to the store and I forgot my checkbook. Something like that. 2 things together. Nor means neither. I had 2 choices and I didn't do either one of them. I didn't bring my homework nor did I remember my lunch. Okay, I had two things to do, homework and lunch, and I didn't do either. But that means this should have happened, but this. I want to go to the movies, but I'm out of money. So I want the first thing, but because of this, something else is happening. Or means you have two choices. I can check out a book from the library, or I can borrow a book from my friend. I can do either one. Yet is kind of like but, kind of. Yet is this is happening, yet I might have to do this. Okay? And then so means the first thing happened, so the second thing happened. I forgot to do my homework, so I had to stay in at recess. Okay? The first sentence happened, so the second sentence is happening. All right? So we'll keep working on those. After one video, you can't remember when you'll use all those. You'll do some different practices with them in order to try to figure it out. The ones you'll use most are and, but, or, and so. But these are all the fanboys. If you use those in between two sentences, you have to have a comma and then that word. So right now, you are going to put this into your writing resources notebook. On the table of contents, add page 4, run on sentences. Remember that if I go too fast, you just pause. On page 4, you're going to glue it in. Now, I wrote you a sentence down here, and we'll practice it, but you don't need to pause to write that because I know that you are going to have a lot of examples in your own writing. Run-on sentences are one of the biggest things fourth graders need to work on. They write a big, long page, and it's all one sentence. So after you are done, you're going to go into your writing. You're going to look for places where you have a complete sentence next to a complete sentence, and you're going to decide, should I fix it by creating two sentences? If I have two nice sentences, I'll just put a period after the first, and then the second sentence needs to start with a capital letter. Or should I create a compound sentence? That's what fanboys do. Two sentences together, just like compound words, foot and ball, put it together, it's football. Compound sentences are two sentences put together with the comma and the fanboy. So that's the next way that you can fix it, using one of these fanboys. Okay? You're also going to find a page that looks like this. You can pause, or you can use what's in your notebook here to write these down. And then I want you to put it wherever your teacher tells you, probably in your writing notebook, so you always have it. All right, so we're going to fix one sentence quickly. Mine says, I want to go to the park. My mom said we have to go to the store. So I have a complete sentence. I is the subject, want to go to the park is the sentence. My mom is the subject, or excuse me, is the predicate, want to go to the park. My mom is the subject, said we have to go to the store is the predicate. I have two sentences. I can put a period after park and capitalize M on my to have two sentences. Or I can put a comma and decide which fanboys I need. I want to go to the park. My mom said we have to go to the store. Those are not the same, so I would use but. I want to go to the park, but my mom says I have to go to the store. Fanboys can be a little tricky to get started. My guess is you may need to watch the video again, maybe the second day or tomorrow in a day or two. But what you need to do is open your writing notebook and start looking for places where you have two complete sentences that you can join with glue, with a comma and one of your fanboys, or just put a period after the first sentence and capitalize the beginning of the second sentence. Go into your writing and work on that to practice.